doors open, kids find a safe space. Death-3 gaming doc fights the grind each day. From the joystick low to the streets ballet. She's the voice that echoes the restless hum. Hardcore hero where the city drums. And dreams are bred. The city roars, but her wheels still roll. Streaming at night with a fierce heart soul. Death-3 gaming doc fights the grind each day. From the joystick low to the streets ballet. She's the voice that echoes the restless hum. Hardcore hero where the city drums. Cheer when her streams go live. Green glow shining, she makes them thrive. Kids in the morning don't see her night. She hides battles fought by screens, strange light. Driving their futures down bustling streets, filling small lives with the simple beats. She carries their dreams while chasing her own. Walking roads never leave her alone. Cali where the sun went red, found a home where chaos and dreams are bred. The city roars, but her wheels still roll, streaming at night with her fierce heart soul. They laugh, they cheer when her streams go live. Green glow shining, she makes them thrive. Kids in the morning don't see her night. She hides battles fought by screens, strange light. Driving their futures down bustling streets, filling small lives with the simple beats. She carries their dreams while chasing her own. Winding roads never leave her alone.
Well, greetings gamers. This is Dr. Eileen, the Gaming Doc, and this is your place and your space to laugh, to chat, to chill, to hang out, to take a moment, to take a breath, to take a break, to occasionally blow our noses. And we are here. It is day 2 of Nostalgia Week. And Nostalgia Week is that special week where we go back, we roll back the clock, we roll back the calendar to one of the glory days of the Doc stream. And first, however, as we must acknowledge our first 3 champions across the gate, coming in for the gold with the southbound end of a northbound unicorn, and it's raining beans. Hallelujah. I'll never get tired of that song. Kimmy Beans coming in for the silver. The one who always gives us the 411 on what is up, what is happening, what is going on. Mr. Harmless 411. And coming in for the bronze, we have with the floating, feisty flying fish, my favorite foliage. That is a lot of F's. Fruity Leaves. Is like, hey, hi. At the library, researching for our theater things, and coming in, who will be streaming live from a convention in the amazing, wonderful Denver, Colorado. Our God who comes in with the lightning bolt of all the goodness, Blade Zeus. Hello. Oh, goodness gracious. It is day 2 of not having to get up at 3 o'clock in the morning, but I wake up at 3 o'clock in the morning anyway. But the cool part is I get to go back to sleep. And, you know, day 2 of battling my sinuses. I think I'm winning. I'm not sure. But I did sleep better last night, so we'll call that a win. But yep, I am a boomer of my word. Doc quote 2026. I'm a boomer of my word. And if I say I am going to stream, except for when I canceled it Sunday, I am going to stream. I will bluster up what I need to do because y'all show up. Because, you all take that wonderful time out of your day to come and hang out with this old lady. And I truly appreciate every single one of you. You are all just absolutely wonderful, amazing, and awesome individuals in the universe. I have that you might be able to help understand, but it's a political. So, TW. TW. The Okay, I don't get all the abbreviations. Somebody tell me what TW means. And it's not that we don't discuss politics here. Oh, trigger warnings. Okay. So, as long as, we have discussed politics, and as long as we remember that everybody's opinion, including our own, is an opinion, nobody is speaking facts. And, if there's something that you want to, you would like help understanding, then yeah, we can have a discussion. And, being able to be open to, the fact that we can all be considerate of each other's feelings, just if we have to have different perspectives. So, no, you can bring stuff up. um you know I gotta focus on researching. You know what? Researching is amazing. It's fun. It's awesome. That was actually one of my favorite parts of when I went to chiropractic college. Researching, because then you find out that you know stuff that most other people don't. Yes. It is. Yeah, I mean, when we look at an opportunity to gain information, and one of the best opportunities to gain information is to hear an opinion that somebody has that maybe we don't have. And one of the things that I would always do, and people would be fascinated by the fact that, people who would get very angry discussing things like politics, and I would go up to them and I'd say, well, I don't really understand why you feel the way you do, but I'd like to try. Can you explain it to me? And, when people are approached with an open, like, what, I don't understand, but I want to, and I am definitely wanting to hear you out. Or, I spoke about this before. I had a case where there was a social occasion, and in a previous social occasion, it was like almost the police were called because there was this big political fight specifically with this one person. And everybody was like, oh God, it's going to happen again. And I could see him. He was like, he was in full defensive mode. And so I went up to him, and, we had known each other for a lot of years. And I said, so I heard that there was, quite the thing at the last get together. And he looked at me, and see, and I know he respects me. And, and it was like the way I said it, I wasn't judging him. And he kind of looked down and he said, well, it's, people just don't want to hear what you have to say. And I said, that must have been really hard for you. I said, you're here, you're with friends, you believe it's safe for you to say what you honestly feel and to speak your truth. And you kind of got jumped on for it just because other people don't share that same belief. And he looked at me and he said, oh my God, yes. All I wanted to do was have people hear what I had to say. And then when they kept telling me, trying to convince me how wrong I was, then I got mad. And I said, and that's a very reasonable thing. And so, I had him sit down, and I sat down next to him. I said, would you like to tell me how you feel? And he looked, he said, but I already know you don't agree with me. I said, I don't have to agree with you to hear you out. I said, and I think that listening to someone with a different opinion can be very educational, and it can help me understand. And I want to understand, what you mean. And I know you're a good person, and I know you would never intentionally seek to hurt anyone. And it was like watching him, just kind of watching those walls that he had been building up, just slide down, and in a very reasonable voice, he explained to me why he felt the way he felt. And I listened to him. I didn't interrupt him. I mean, yes, his viewpoint was not in alignment with mine, but it doesn't have to be. And when we have opportunities to be able to allow someone to speak their truth, to speak what they believe, because, people can believe what they choose. If it doesn't resonate with me, it doesn't have to. And, after he said what he had to say, and I could tell people around were kind of listening in, and they were watching him, and they said that it was like a complete 180. It's like, how did you talk to him? And then after we finished, I said, you've given me some things to think about. And thank you for giving me a new perspective on some stuff. I said, I'm probably going to stick with most of my beliefs, but you have given me something to think about that kind of puts, a few things in a different light. And he looked at me, and the gratitude in his eyes was just crazy. It was just, he said, thank you for letting me talk. Thank you for not thinking I'm a bad person. Thank you. And other people, and I ultimately saw him interacting, and some people even said, it's like, well, yeah, I can see your point on this. And he said, that's all I wanted, was for somebody to say, I can see your point. And the rest of the afternoon, the party went wonderfully. Everybody had a good time. They were all laughing and talking and joking and playing pool and teasing each other. And multiple people came up to me and said, we don't know how you do that, but it's amazing. And I said, look, all it is listening. All it is being willing to go, you know what? How about we can all share our beliefs without having to be made wrong just because it doesn't resonate with someone else's. And, it really is a, kind of a cool thing, and like I said, we've had a lot of political discussions. We've had, folks who were on completely diametrically opposed viewpoints. And when we can at least go, it's like, okay, I can understand your perspective. I don't have to agree with it, but I can understand it. And that's the beginning of something really amazing. And whether it's, discussing politics or console versus computer, or, which is the best or worst Assassin's Creed game, it's all about realizing that first, anybody can give any opinion that they want. You don't have to agree with it. It does not change my life fundamentally just to hear somebody out. If I don't agree, if it doesn't resonate, I don't agree. But it's not like, oh, well, you're wrong and I'm right, or I have to convince you, because people get so wrapped up in the idea that whatever they say, somebody else is going to have an opinion. And, people talking about relationships. Oh my gosh. It's like, well, because it seems a lot of people have opinions about relationships. And sometimes, and it can be all well meaning, that when people speak to an experience that someone else is having without knowing everything really, they kind of hear a part of it, and then they start creating a story that matches not what that person is saying, but what their own experience was. It's like, oh, well, you can't trust women, or you can't trust men, or you can't trust, and then, it's like it usually is coming from a place of their own pain. And it is a skill to be able to just sit, even knowing what that person is saying, is not in alignment with you. It's like, you know what? If they love it, I love it for them. It doesn't change me. It doesn't affect me any more than I choose it to. And I find that when people have a safe place to share, when they have a safe place to be authentic, It's like, well, no, you're not going to be jumped on for a political view or anything like that, because everybody's got their own views, and everybody's a little bit right, a little bit wrong, and going on what goes through based on their life experience. So I'm glad you're a good friend to many. You know what it is, and first off, takes a good friend to know a good friend, my dear Kimmy Beans. And and it's so wonderful because so many of you have been through these like off the charts experiences, and you chose to learn and grow from them. And I'm so proud of you for that, because there's so many people who get caught up in things and want to, whether consciously or subconsciously, create this victim mentality. And and I mean, and everybody survives the best way they can. And even when somebody is going into their victim place, I can be gentle because that's for them to work out. And I know ultimately they will. Ultimately, they have the tools and the talents and the wisdom and the insights inside of them. They're just responding from a place of, I don't feel safe and I need to feel safe. And what that means a lot of different things to a lot of different people. And it's like, well, if that happened to me, I would do this. It's like, and yay, good for you. When they say if it happens, meaning that they hadn't been through that particular experience yet. And so if somebody says that to me about something and they offer an opinion, it's like, well, if that had happened to me, I would do this, I would do that. And I said, well, I hope it never happens to you. And if it does, I'm sure that you will handle it in the best way that you know how. And that kind of sets them aside. Okay, so I don't understand why people verbally and sometimes physically attack officers, and reasons those officers would get more, how do I say this, trigger happy, more willing to shoot, then they end up killing sadly. But then that makes the attack on officers worse, which gets more people killed. Okay. Doc on a Tuesday morning. My favorite Pokemon, lurking Psyduck. Yes, my dear. This is a nostalgia week. So remember the old days when I would log in at 9 a.m. and we'd go from 9 to 11. That is what we're doing this week. And I something about me having time off is the trigger for my body to catch a cold. So I'm kind of dealing with that, and it is, it is struggle, but I've got a neti pot, I've got mega tea, I've got, supplements and cough drops. So I refuse to bend to this thing. But it's wonderful to see you, my dear. I hope you're doing well. I hope you're walking gently with the world and the world is walking gently with you. So, Mr. Harmless, to address that, and first off, it's some people, it's not all people, it's some people. And the thing is that it is because there are some officers who maybe should not be in that position. And, we have examples of things like police brutality. Now, does that mean that's every officer? No. Does that mean that every person who disagrees with someone, abusing their authority in order to, dominate others? And there are people who have died as a result of it. Growing up in the 1960s as a little brown child, believe me, there were things that were going on in the 60s that were bad. And yes, there were some police officers involved in it. And to this day, there are people who wear that uniform and do not wear it with the honor that they should. Now, does that mean all officers are bad? No. Does that mean all people who think that officers should be held accountable or who are frustrated with the fact that maybe they live daily with that type of abuse of power? They're not wrong either. The trick is, first off, not to lump everybody, to avoid generalization as much as possible. Not all people act that way, and not all officers act that way. In fact, I would say on both sides, the vast majority of people are just trying to do the best they can. And being able to understand that if people feel a particular way, to look at what is the reason, why. And, I hope that you do not have to ever deal with some of the things that I've had to deal with. Some of the moments when, during certain periods in our history, police weren't always the safe ones, especially for minorities. And it is, and things evolve and things change, which is why it's better to look at individuals. It is better to look at people with individual motivations, including the officers that maybe should not be officers. Maybe they need to get some work and some healing and some, you know, that maybe they should not be carrying a weapon. And there have been many cases in the news where, it's both sides are shown in a very poor light. Is there abuse of power on behalf of some police officers? Yes, absolutely. And when we can look at both sides and say, okay, where is the problem? And if the problem is that maybe certain people do not have the capability to be in that position, then we look at that and say, okay, what would improve this? How can this be helped? And the idea that it's a very long standing issue, but it doesn't mean that it doesn't have a solution. My solution basically is the idea that if we can seek the humanity in all sides, if we can acknowledge that the other side has a point, that there is a point to both sides, then we can look at the places where we have in common. And like I said, in both cases, it is not the majority. It is a very specific group on both sides that are both tremendously wounded that seems to make the news. But people who work in harmony and, with the police force and, those police officers who work really hard to protect everybody, they're not the ones who make the news. So it's very easy to generalize or to fall into the trap of generalizing. But, everybody has an opportunity to learn and to grow. And a part of that is acknowledging that the other side has a point. I had yesterday off for Family Day. Oh, government holidays, so it was a nice long weekend. Yes, we had President's Day yesterday, and this is midwinter break, so the schools are closed. I'm trying hard to not let my hard times keep things rough. Yeah, and sweetheart, you're not trying, you're doing it. You are doing an amazing job. This life journey that you have been on has not been an easy one. And it's one that many would have given up by now. And you just keep showing up. You're not trying, you're doing it. You have something in you that refuses to give in to the fear and the story and all of that, and that just shines through. It shines through in your art, it shines through in your compassion for people. So you're doing wonderfully, dear. I'm glad that King Doc is doing this week. Gonna miss her on Thursday morning because I'll be flying. Oh, but I'm gonna catch her the rest of the week. Nice. Well, and we definitely want to get a report from the convention, And Spoopy Spritz, hi, hi. True, and those officers should be in jail, but they're not. And that's a part of the problem, is that the accountability, they should be in jail, but the question becomes, why aren't they? And that opens up a whole other discussion. It's like, no, it shouldn't be happening. However, it does. And there is very little accountability. I mean, we agree completely that they should be in jail. So the question becomes, why aren't they? What is it that seems to protect them, even though they're actually acting against the law that they swore to uphold? So it is a tricky thing. And sometimes sitting back and watching things play out is a very educational thing. And always keeping that good thought and putting out those good vibes in the world, saying, you know what, this is the exception, it is not the rule. These individuals on both sides are the exception, they're not the rule for either side. And to be able to see the good and the kind and the accepting as the rule, that's an important thing. Good afternoon, Docs. Double salt Dutch licorice with hot sauce. Asta. Actually, okay. Honestly, I could probably almost do that because my sinuses are acting up so much that I probably wouldn't taste it. And the hot sauce might actually be helpful. I'm actually thinking of ordering up some pho, the Vietnamese soup that's mostly broth and, you get the meat in it. And I put like extra jalapenos in it. I put in some hot sauce and I just let it run amok, and it usually clears me up and I feel much better. So I may be ordering some of that. So yes, if there was actually any day for me to do double salt Dutch licorice with hot sauce, today would probably be the day because I wouldn't be able to taste it. I asked, speaking of presidents, fun fact, I share a birthday with the current president. Really? Congratulations. Greetings. Hi, Gimme. Hi, Blade. Yeah, get some pho. Oh, my goodness. Yes. I mean, and, excuse me, hot sauce and pho go in the corner. What? Oh, but you have to put the sesame chili oil and shame yourself. No. I'm sorry. Sesame chili oil should go on everything. You could put that on ice cream and it would taste good. I order multiple bottles of sesame chili oil. Tell me, Asta, that sesame chili oil is not one of the best. Depends on the ice cream. But yes, not hot sauce. But you put jalapenos in pho, so you do have the spicy stuff with it. And, go in the corner is so funny to me. Yes, we have and Scolas18. Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the chat. And yes, we do have hi. And we do have situations where people, either I get sent to the corner for something. Usually it is the idea of someone asked if I was getting a summer bod. I said no. Doing it. Go to be Batman. Yes, to be Batman. I'm telling you, I know he was kind of chunky, but Adam West will always be my favorite Batman. Adam West will be my favorite Batman. And while I adore Julie Newmar, I have to go with Eartha Kitt as my favorite Catwoman. And all the rest are, the Joker, Cesar Romero, the Riddler, Frank Gorshin. Oh my gosh. See, I grew up with the old school Batman. So, yes, I have to go with the classics. Yes, I will occasionally get sent to the corner for suggesting things like, oh, haggis. Oh my God. Where's my can of haggis? Jay's out. I could eat the can of haggis. But see, I don't want to eat the can of haggis when I can't taste it. See, that's the thing. And I have probably the most adventurous palate that will occasionally drive Asta, who is our current culinary, just genius. And I propose things that completely go against it, like taking, okay, all right. School is 18. Your opinion. Okay, you've got a thin crust pizza. You roll it from the pointy end to the big end, and then you deep fry it. Why would you be willing to taste that? We're going to get a new unbiased opinion. Would you be willing to eat that? A deep fried rolled up pizza. Ah, that is the hill I plant my flag on. Do you have a favorite Spider-Man? Look how much sugar is in it. Do I have a favorite Spider-Man? Well, oh my gosh, the guy who was in the old TV series. Oh my goodness. What was his name? Hold on. Hold on. I gotta Google. I think it was like in the 70s. 70s Spider-Man TV show. I think it was in the 70s. 77 to 79. Nicholas Hammond as Peter Parker. Yes. The mid 70s. Yes, Nicholas Hammond. So I would have to say that Nicholas Hammond was my favorite Spider-Man. Hold on. Let's see. Yes, this guy. This guy here. He was my favorite Spider-Man because I had a crush on him also. If you ever, why do we need that? If you ever want to, oh my God, look at this. Look at this. This was actually from the show. Oh my gosh. That was the Spider-Man of my heart. Nicholas Hammond. Yes. Mm. Yes, but hot sauce is suppose it's unhealthy. It depends. I mean, it depends on the amount that it's used in, because hot for just the sake of hot is, that's just damaging. But the use of, first off, um it is anti-inflammatory, and uh the the hot element, the heat element that is found in peppers is often used in, ointments and things to help reduce pain and reduce swelling and reduce inflammation. So spice is, high heat spice is actually considered something that can be very healthy, when well applied. And, for people who have, inflammation, a lot of inflammatory issues, in some cases, one of the best things they can have is something spicy. Uh, Look how much sugar is in it. I can't let the rough times define the easier. Exactly. Loves hot sauce. The hotter the better. Fist bump high five, Blade Zeus. Kevin Conroy is the best Batman. May he rest in peace. You know what? I love Kevin Conroy for you, but Adam West. Adam West is my best Batman. And maybe because you weren't around to, see that. And the reason is because, in growing up, the idea that superheroes, now definitely there are more layers to, the psychology behind superheroes, which, is actually kind of sad in a way. When you look at, current heroes and hero images, that they're truly tortured individuals. And when you think about it, that the reason Batman became Batman was because of this intense trauma that he never healed from. So it's like that thing that drives them in, so does that mean that they really don't have free will to do what they're doing? And is there a part of them that's just doing it for revenge? Is there a part of them? And so going into the psychology of superheroes now, it's there's a lot of depth in that, which I find fascinating. When I was growing up, superheroes were just those people who did the right thing for the right reason, and they yet they always showed humanity. They always, they worked with the law. And it's interesting, because a part of the reason that I like the heroes from that time was because there was kind of an innocence to it. There was that sense of, this is someone I want to be like, because they take care of people, and that, and it's not about them doing what they do because they're damaged. I mean, it's weird because in my mind, if you're doing something as a result of trauma that you experienced, is it truly free will? I mean, and that's just my opinion, and the fact that so many of the supervillains, they weren't always villains. They had something, I had a friend who would always, make comments about people. He goes, that guy is just one lab accident away from being a supervillain. But, and they end up, and in those days, supervillains weren't about like killing a bunch of people. It wasn't about death so much. It was, they would do things that would disrupt society. And usually it was for money, they wanted money. But, it's interesting the way that heroes and villains have changed, and the gray areas, because now it's like villains are being humanized, like Suicide Squad. That movie went out of its way to humanize supervillains to the point where it's like, well, they're not that bad. So it is interesting, and like I said, it's kind of a generational thing because I grew up in a totally different, kind of world than the world that exists now. I'd try it, yes. That actually sounds good, though. See? Thank you. Slaps my head in disappointment. Slap my head. Asta, you cannot send all of us to the corner, okay? You can try, but you can't send all of us to the corner. Poor Asta. Yes. That sounds disgusting. That's a crime against Italy. Well, yeah, maybe. I'm personally a lover of Andrew Garfield. Really? Eat fresh jalapenos. Yes! And that gasoline can be used to clean wounds. I mean, technically, I suppose. It's just that there's what would happen. The problem with that would be that it also would break down tissue, and something that has the capacity to damage tissue. It I mean, technically it could take out the bacteria, but the thing is the tissue around there could begin to what's called necrotize, which means that the tissue would start dying, in that area because of the high chemical content. But I mean, technically, there are people who use super glue, and like if they have it in their first aid kit, if they go out in the woods and they cut themselves and it's deep, they put super glue on it, seal it up, and call it a day. Let's see, unless you're drinking half a cup of hot sauce, you're good. Do you know the backstory of Jason Todd? As Joker says, one bad day. Yes. Who's Jason Todd? Do you plan on playing any games on your break? Actually, I do. I was planning on making Friday a gaming day. Hope you're doing well today. Well, I'm doing. I still have the sinus congestion. I still have a bit of coughing. I did sleep better last night. I slept a little bit better. I made it through most of the night without waking up and coughing. And, I give myself a shot of NyQuil and, go on with the day. But thank you, sweetheart. And I hope you're doing well too. Better to eat fresh jalapenos than eat hot sauce. I mean, yeah, oh, but roasted. Oh, roasted jalapenos are the bomb. And then you get the habaneros, and you take the habaneros and then you roast them and then you put them into salsa. Oh, there was this restaurant back in California. It was the food was like Aztec food, and they had a habanero salsa that was the absolute best. I actually, because they never like sold it separately, I talked them into selling me some. I said, you know what, just put it into a cup, put a lid on the cup, charge me whatever you want for it. And they're like, okay. But oh my God, that was the best salsa. It had the just right balance of burn and flavor. And, I mean, it tingled. It gave you a tingle, and it tingled all the way down. But oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. That was like the best salsa I had ever had. It had habanero, it had like a little bit of pineapple, it had, oh, that was one of those things that I would put literally on anything. Let's see, you can deep fry jalapenos too. Mind blown. I hadn't. Oh, I've got to deep fry a jalapeno. Oh my gosh. I have not tried. I mean, like, I've had like jalapeno poppers, but ooh, batter dipped. Oh my gosh. You can stuff it with something like cheese or something and then put the top back on and then, like put a toothpick through it and ooh. Oh my God, Blade Zeus. I'm going to have to try that. Yes. Went to my therapist, had a 4-hour session, was able to let most of the things I had in my mind, and it helped me a lot. Good. I feel a bit fresh and new today, to be honest. Sam. First off, love to the entire system. And see, I never doubted for a second you have this. You are an amazing, wonderful being in this universe. And with all the things you've gone through, that you still show up, you still keep moving forward. And I'm so proud of you for that. You've got this, sweetie. Jalapeno garlic tomato sauce for pizza. Now that would be tasty. That would be tasty. Mom did that once at a hibachi restaurant for the ginger dressing they had. Jason Todd, the second Robin. And the Red Hood, he stole the wheel off the Batmobile because Robin then tried fighting Joker alone. A few crowbars later, one explosion, and the boy Wonder was dead. Tempura batter. Yes, 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 Asta. See, you're on the ride with us. Then came back as the Red Hood. Yes. Oh my goodness. But, I just thought of fondue. I haven't had fondue. Okay, for those of you who don't know what fondue is, hold on. And we have to do, if it's something from my age, I have to put vintage fondue pot sets from the 60s. Okay. Oh my gosh, this is the exact set that my mother had. My mother had this exact set. Usually the fondue pots were like yellow, and then you had the sticks that had the different colors on them because of the fact that, when you put it in, that way you'd know whose stick was who. And oh my God, fondues were the best. Oh my goodness, because you could do cheese. Okay, you could do like a cheese dip. You could do chocolate and caramel, and then you dip fruit into it. You could have it like hot grease and cook meat in it. Oh my goodness. Oh, fondue was awesome. And then you had like the little sterno can underneath. Emergency. Yes, I am taking emergency. Oh my gosh, the old style fondue sets. See, and this was like 60s and 1960s, 1970s. This was the ultimate party thing. People used to get together and hold fondue. You'd have fondue parties. And back in the day, oh, that was, you had the fondue, you had the jello molds. Yes, we will talk about the jello molds. Oh yeah, and that's the other thing that Asta truly refuses to acknowledge, is that jello molds ever existed in a reasonable universe. I do not like fondues. It's just not for me. You know what, sweetheart? You do you. You do not have to like a fondue if you don't want to. I don't think we'd like to be stuck because of things that have been happening. Trying the best to fix things, but need to work on it more, I guess. Hey, Rala, how are you? I mean, but the thing is that you're doing it. You are doing it as a community. It's I mean, the term would be system, but you're a community, you're a family, and you take care of each other. And you are doing an awesome job, all of you. And I'm so proud of all of you. And teamwork makes the dream work, and you are all the ultimate expression of that. Yellow mold is a no, 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 no. Oh, Asta, see, if I could take you back into a time machine and take you back to a 1960s, 1970s party, you would just have, well, I don't think you'd have fun. I honestly don't think you'd have fun. I would kill myself. Yes, I don't doubt that. It would be like, what? I'm here? No, it's not a picnic. No! Not the jello molds. Oh, but yes, that would be, I mean, maybe it would be, kind of to broaden the horizons. No, I don't even believe that. I believe you. It's like, take me back. You'd be pounding on the TARDIS. Take me back. I hate Aspic Week in culinary school, or hated Aspic Week in culinary school. Oh, not one of your key flavors, but it's like aspic. Is that the one that tastes kind of like licorice? Aspic. I'm trying to remember. It's like I sort of remember, but I'm old. Is that the one that tastes sort of like licorice? I think how we were last week was the hardest for us. I think one of the ones to blame, because I was supposed to be there, but I was not, and things went so hectic. Been stuck in a loop. Been trying everything to go back and forth. It's a huge mess. Well, you know what? It is a part of something that you experience. It's not what you are. It's not all of what you are. And yes, sometimes, some days can be a little bit tougher than others. Some days we fall back in, old experiences. That's very natural. And when you do that, you've always come out of it. You've always come out the other side. And you are stronger for it. So, it's not about blame. This is about a biochemical reaction, and that it's something you're moving forward through, and each time you experience it you gain more mastery over it. So no, it's not a bad thing. No, it's jello you make from animal parts. Yes. Oh, aspic, the jello you make from animal parts. Okay, now I got you. Made hotspot last night, potato mashed with carrots, onions, and bacon, and a meat gravy. I've got to Google that. Hold on. Hotspot. I have got to Google that. I want to see what that looks like. Ooh. Okay, this one has, it looks like sausage with it. See, I could, okay, game. And first off, anything with like kielbasa or bratwurst, I'm up for it. But bacon would be awesome. Oh, kielbasa or andouille sausage. Oh my goodness. See, I like that. So it's potatoes mashed with carrots, onions, and bacon. Asta, can you put the recipe for that in the Discord? How do you make that? I need to know how to make that because I need that in my life. I need this in my life. That looks really good. It tastes like meat, not fruit or sweets. You can also eat it with smoked sausage. Yes. I can you put in the recipe for that? How do you make that? I mean, and do you do like okay, you like would boil the mashed potatoes. Do you also boil the carrots and onions till they're soft? And then it's all kind of a mash together? Or do you mash the potatoes with the carrots? Let's see. Yes, I should be responsible to help them out, Eileen, but I feel like I'm being way too overwhelmed to do anything more. Like, I don't know what I was really doing. It's more like I'm failing lately. Rella, no, you're not. You are not, my dear. And in fact, I really applaud you for when you're feeling overwhelmed to allow yourself. It's like, okay, because if things get a little bit cattywampus, it's not going to be that for long. But you deserve to be able to take a step back and take a breath because if you burn yourself out, then it could be a really long time before you can get back into the game. And by and being responsible, part of being responsible is being able to step back and say, okay, I need a timeout. The rest of y'all, you can manage this for a little bit because they can manage it for a bit. But by allowing yourself those times when you step back and go, okay, I need to focus on me. And I am so proud of you for that because that is something that I've never known you to do. And I've always kind of hoped that for you because you need to take care of you too. And by doing that, and you give the others their own time to, to be able to manage little bits at a time because you're only having them manage little bits at a time. And for you to be able to take care of yourself in that way, I think it's wonderful. In fact, you're not failing, you're making the entire system better while at the same time making sure that you can be there, you know, when you need to be and you're not going to be so exhausted. If you're feeling overwhelmed, sweetheart, you definitely need to take care of yourself. You do it in one pan. Okay, you boil the carrots and onions. Okay, so you boil everything with the potatoes. I'm munching celery right now. Celery's the best. I'm proud of you, Kenny. I couldn't. The taste of celery is making me feel sick. Oh, it's everybody's got their own taste. But okay, so boil the carrots and all of that. Do we have? Do we have? Where is it? Put can you put it under recipes to try because how long do you boil them for, or do you just go with? Because I would guess that the thing that would take the longest to boil would be the carrots. So you boil everything for and until like maybe the carrot is fork soft. I am wondering about that. How can I be taking care of them and take responsibility, especially the littles, when I'm having few issues myself? I mean, I should be the one to help them talk to me, but it's the other way around with me trying to look for someone to talk to. It is, and that's the thing. And especially when you're dealing with, different age groups and stuff. But taking care, part of taking care of them is taking care of yourself. Because if you burn out, and I mean really burn out, it could take like a week or more. But if you take those little opportunities to kind of step back and go, okay, I need to catch my breath. I need to find my eye of the storm. Then it's only like maybe what, an hour, couple of hours at the most that you can, take care of yourself, have a cup of tea, breathe, remind yourself it's going to be okay. And then you can get right back into the game as opposed to waiting until you're at level 10 exhaustion. If you catch it when you're at level 2 or 4, you can step back and go, all right, everybody, just, talk amongst yourselves. We'll be fine. And then take that time to rejuvenate yourself. Because, and everybody has been learning from you all this time. And, for the littles to be able to feel like they can help too. And that's a wonderful gift to give them. Oh, the potatoes take longest to get soft, not the carrots? Ah, I normally eat it with peanut butter. Yes, peanut butter. Somebody told me to try Nutella with celery. I don't know about that. I I'm not a huge fan of Nutella, but maybe my tastes have changed. I had Nutella once when I was young and it did not enthuse me. Oh no, that sounds even worse. It's not. The peanut butter pairs well with the juiciness of the celery. Exactly. For my age, I should be more being there up front for them, but I'm trying to seek help. Well, that's what you should be doing. It feels kind of weird for me. And remember, weird means magical. And, you're doing something magical for both yourself and for others because you are being able to, take care of you. Because who takes care of you? You're always taking care of others, but who takes care of you when you're feeling, overwhelmed? And everybody feels overwhelmed. Everybody at some point feels overwhelmed. And that's when we need to take a step back. And the smartest, wisest, most nurturing thing we can do is to step back, make sure that we're okay, give ourselves a little bit of breathing room, and then go back into it. That sounds bad, the Nutella. Yes, I don't know about the Nutella, but I've never been like a huge fan of Nutella. Let's see. Let's just make sure. So, it's, and Nutella to me, I could be wrong. Nutella is like eggplant, buttermilk, blue cheese. People are, it's like either they like it a lot or they totally don't like it. I do not know a lot of people who are like middle of the road about eggplant. And and I wasn't a big fan of eggplant, but it's like, oh my mom cooked a dish once a year that had eggplant in it, and it was the most delicious thing. She cooked it every Thanksgiving, but she never cooked it the rest of the year. And we're like, but we like this. And but since moving to New York, yes, eggplant is a very big thing here. So, I'm not a fan of hazelnuts. I like hazelnuts if I'm just eating hazelnuts. The whole squishing it into butter is for some reason the taste is a little bit different for me. But everybody's got their own tastes. And I know people who absolutely, oh, you've got to have Nutella. No, I don't. No, if you love it, I love it for you. But yeah, and it's like, well, like buttermilk. I used to hate buttermilk. Well, then I remembered that my mom used to make us buttermilk and cornbread, and she'd make it into like a porridge, and that tasted so good. And there was one point when it was like I just started kind of drinking buttermilk because buttermilk is actually very healthy for you. It's actually healthier for you than regular milk. But it's like, and after a while, I started to get used to the taste, and it's like, the taste isn't so bad. But yeah, buttermilk is not something that a lot of people go with, but it's great in biscuits, buttermilk biscuits. And like I said, if you're willing to try cornbread and buttermilk, I'm telling you, you make it into a porridge, not like a thin and soupy to where, you could still eat it with a fork, but buttermilk and cornbread or cornbread and buttermilk is absolutely amazing. We eat lots of celery here because I am in Celery City, not the actual name of the town. We have so it's like, well, we used to have there was this place called Gilroy that was in the Bay Area back in California, and it was Gilroy was the garlic center of the nation and possibly the world. And every year they would have the Gilroy Garlic Festival, and there would be tens of thousands of people at the Gilroy Garlic Fest. I mean, if you closed your eyes and you were driving, you knew when you hit Gilroy because you smelled the garlic. The entire city smelled like garlic. And they had garlic wine, they had garlic ice cream, they had the giant garlic cloves, they had fried garlic, they had, like pickled garlic. It was amazing. And, I wasn't the biggest fan of garlic, but it's like, that deep fried garlic tasted pretty good. It's the cheapest veggie here. Yes. And I mean, it hydrates. It has its own nutrients. I can smell the farts from your words. Yes. I grew up in a town with a chocolate factory. Really, you could smell chocolate when you were out on recess. Oh my goodness. Oh, was anybody named Charlie? Yeah, chocolate. I'm sure that your town got a lot of, Charlie and the Chocolate Factory jokes. You know. And we have coming in Captain Firebeard himself, Fire Nutter. Well, hello, hello, sweetheart. How are you? So, it really is, you get places. I mean, do any of you have like, places like that? Because it was like Gilroy. Now, there was another town, and it was in Modesto, California. And the whole city didn't smell like it, but they had a red licorice factory. And if you drove anywhere near it, you smelled the red licorice like outside of the building. But no, Gilroy, the entire city smelled like garlic. And, they had another area where it was like there were all these almond trees. And, yeah, I mean, almonds didn't have a strong smell, but the whole thing was almond trees. But oh my gosh, I could imagine that if you had a place and you made chocolate and the whole area would smell like chocolate. I'm doing okay. Midway of constructing a Yu-Gi-Oh deck, but not quite figured out yet. Of course you'll figure it out. You are the Yu-Gi-Oh champion. Ooh. Hope it makes sense. Hope you're feeling better. I am feeling better. Okay, hold on. Let's take a look at the recipe. Hold on. Ooh. The barrel tap. Oh, this was the Japanese whiskey. Okay, hotspot. 2.2 pounds of potatoes, 0.55 pounds of carrots, so half a pound of onions. I love the bacon. Bake the bacon strips golden brown. Okay. So you pre-cook the bacon. Put the potatoes, carrots, and onions in a pan. Put water on it, a little bit of salt, and boil it till the potatoes are boiled. Okay. Remove the water. Add the bacon and the bacon fat. Oh, you had me at bacon fat. To the potatoes, carrots, and onions. Mash it all together. I am going to be trying that. That sounds so delicious. Oh my gosh, that sounds so delicious. And the fact that I love things that you can make in one pot. It makes it so much easier to, to make things in one pot. When you went on the tour, you got a free chocolate bar, so we went on the tour often. Yes, a lot of people in the town worked there, so you could get the friends and family discount. You could buy, oh my God, oh Henry, Oh, that was one of my favorite candy bars when I was a kid. Oh my goodness. Oh, Henry bar. Oh my gosh. No. Oh, Henry. Chocolate. Oh my gosh. Yes. Yes. What are we doing? No. Oh, Henry chocolate bars. Yes. Oh my gosh. The old O. Henry. I haven't thought about these in forever. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's one straight out of my childhood. Oh, I loved these. And they cost like a little bit more than the Hershey bars. Zero! Zero bars! Yes! Fifth Avenue, the whatchamacallits, paydays. Oh my goodness gracious, great balls of fire. I loved all of those. Yes! Oh my goodness. And the O. Henry ice cream bar. Yes! Oh. Yep. Those were like among my favorites. You knew the houses that were never going to get egged or toilet papered at Halloween because they gave out O. Henry bars. Let's see. Let's see. On the other side of the country from here, it smelled like fart. Especially on human days because of the paper factory. It's a typical Dutch winter dish. I am going to be honoring the typical Dutch winter dish. That's the thing. The littles and everyone always rely on me, and I should be the one to help. But lately, me seeking help and them helping me in a way feels so different. It will. It'll feel downright uncomfortable. It's more like I want to lock myself with things as I feel like if I open up more, I might be affecting them in a way which I shouldn't. Honestly, it's all confusing for me lately. Rella, it may feel uncomfortable right now, sweetie, but this is the best possible thing that could happen for your personal evolution. And it was always meant to happen. And this is your world getting bigger. And change is almost always uncomfortable. And, suddenly allowing that you are worthy of the compassion, the rest, the nurturing. And yeah, it feels weird and it's uncomfortable. Let yourself go with the discomfort. It's okay. Just see where it goes. And what you may find is that as you kind of sit with it, that it starts to get good because it means everybody is becoming more empowered. Oh, Blade Zeus redeemed a flash from the past. Alrighty, my dear Blade Zeus, you get to choose. Um, Childhood and teen years, young adult, older adult, or random weird. Oh, Henry, eat more, just fill up a bag. Maybe they were the reject pieces. Yeah. Hey, I'd take a reject, oh, Henry. That was a Hershey factor, and Hershey sponsored different events. So, track and field, there was a O. Henry or Hershey's Kisses mascot. Yes. Imagine the O. Henry's bar's name in a dirty context. Oh, Henry, censor here. Oh, for your nutter. See, that's the pirate in you coming out. I also want to say Sam posted something in Discord on needs of help section. More than me, our therapist helping. I feel like it'll be helpful to get others' opinions as well on it so we can help ourselves. I apologize if I'm sounding too pushy. No problem, sweetie. I kid, yes. Random weird because it's retro week. Oh, so we want a random weird retro. Oh my goodness. Oh, let's see. Hold on. Okay. Oh my gosh. Random weird retro. Alrighty. This one harkens back to the 1970s, the early 70s. The days when, oh, one of my favorite dance TV shows was Soul Train. Anybody remember Soul Train? Fist bump, high five if you remember Soul Train. And fringe was very big, and afros were very big, and, hot pants were very big. And hold on, let me see if I can. Okay, so this is a picture. Me, my two brothers, and my sister. Soul Train! Yes! Me, my older brother, my older sister, and my younger brother. We were in a talent show. And me and my sister were in fringe vests with, it's like the faux leather fringe vests were very big, and you can't really see them too well. This was our dog Atlas. This was my oldest brother, and this was my oldest sister. And we had chokers, and we had the fringe vests, wearing hot pants. Oh, baby, take me back to the 70s. Oh, my goodness. But yeah, my mom made these outfits. So we had the long sleeves, the hot pants, the hot pants that matched the vests, and boots. And it was like the first time I got to wear boots. And me and my sister had our hair straightened. So, but my brothers, yeah, this was the kind of afro and dashiki shirts. But this was our dog Atlas. And so, but yes. Oh, that was, and me and my sister had this dance that we did. Oh my goodness. My father lost his mind when he saw that his daughters were wearing hot pants and go-go boots. My dad, my mother had to talk him down. My mom had to seriously talk him down. My dad was ready to go to war over the fact that we were wearing hot pants and go-go boots. But yes, we were all in elementary school. What was it? My oldest brother was in sixth grade. My older sister was in fifth. My younger brother was in, or I was in fourth, and my younger brother was in third grade. So we were all a year apart. But oh my goodness, that's a retro one. But yeah, we had the choker collars and oh, go-go boots. The go-go boots. And I mean, the go-go boots come back every once in a while. Soul Train. I remember Soul Train. Of course, I was born in the best year possible, 1969. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. Oh, with love, peace, and soul. Oh my God. Soul Train actually ran longer than American Bandstand. We'll be back, and if you need to check on something, cool. Next thing Dr. V says, take me back to the 70s, or was it the Stone Age? You were a total cutie. Oh, thank you so much. Oh my gosh, that was such an amazing time period. And the thing is, to us, because a lot of stuff happened during the 60s and 70s. And it was so crazy because we just thought of it as, well, this is life. And then when we look back, when I look back now on what it was like growing up in the 60s and 70s with the adult perspective of all of the things that were going on during that time, it's like, wow, wow. There was so much, and yet, we were children, and we saw the things going on around us. And I mean, and there were some really intense moments, but in a way, we just took it as, well, that's how the world is. That's how it is. And now we're going to go play kick the can. Last time I saw it was in the early 2000s. Yes. How long did Soul Train run? Hold on. I need to know. Okay. Soul Train. Not Shoal Train. Soul Train. And there were so many. Oh my God, it was running till 2006? Soul Train ran to 2006. Oh my goodness. Yes. Oh, y'all. Yes. Soul Train. Big afros. Oh my goodness. Ah. Oh, I am having a nostalgia moment. And then there was a part of it where it would be, you would dance up, they'd have like two lines. Oh my God. Don Cornelius. Emergency. Yes, I'm taking that. And there were so many musical groups like La, you didn't have Soul Train. Oh my goodness. And there were musical groups like The Fifth Dimension and like American Bandstand. Okay. American Bandstand was like the Caucasian version of Soul Train. And the funny thing about these shows was that it was like, basically it was like a giant dance party. And everybody would get up, and then you'd have like artists getting, that would be performing. That was the Soul Train. And, but the thing is that you would identify, oh my gosh, when I remember the show when they had the Village People on it. Yes! Oh my goodness! When they had the Village People on Soul Train. Oh my gosh. There would be platforms to dance, and it's like you had status on Soul Train if you were dancing up on one of the platforms. But what people would do is oh my gosh, DeBarge, I think that was DeBarge, and the Jackson 5 performed on it. And he would always stand up on his little thing, and he'd be talking and commentating between each. But it was like, it was a dance party. And so people would identify who were couples. And it was like certain people would always dance with other people, and then if you saw that person dancing with somebody else, it was like, oh, they broke up. And so there was always this underlying thing where everybody was looking to see who was dancing with who, and that meant somebody broke up with somebody else, or if somebody, because like some of the people would dance up on the risers, and if you were able to dance on a riser, that meant you had a certain status. But if somebody else was dancing on that riser, it's like, oh, they got in trouble for something. Earth, Wind, and Fire, yes. Earth, Wind, and Fire, the OJs. Um, oh my gosh. I mean, there were all kinds of. To be fair, Soul Train be goaded for Dr. Scholl's. What? Dr. Scholl's? I don't get that. Hold on. Um, but yeah, and I have to say also that you're even more of a cutie now. Please, Zeus. Go on. No, really, go on. Just kidding. That's very sweet of you to say, sweetheart. And but oh man, that was how many of us learned how to dance. Most of us learned how to dance watching Soul Train. And it was, oh, it was, with the Afro Sheen was the main commercial, and the picks. You had the picks to do your afro in. See, with my lineage, and it was weird because everyone else in my family could grow their hair in an afro style except for me. My hair was somehow different enough that my afro just kind of sat sort of limp. It didn't, it never, I could never get it to stand tall. And everybody else in my family could wear an afro. Hold on, let me see if I have, do I have a picture? There was a picture that I had where it's like everybody in my family, all the kids in my family had afros, but I could not. I was always very very put off by that. They could grow afros, and I could not. I can't find the picture. I'll have to see if I can hunt up the picture. It was me, my older brother, my older sister, my younger brother, and my parents, and our dog. But I could not for the life of me. Let's see, what's the closest that I got to an afro? Hold on, let me see if I can find the closest I ever got to an afro. Uh, probably probably this. This is the closest that I ever got to an afro. I had a lot of hair, but it would always kind of go down. So, yes, this was I never got the height. I mean, someone said it's because, I took more after my dad's side of the family than my mom's. And my dad's side of the family, they have, the Haitian, but also French, Portuguese, Dominican. So apparently my hair follicles were more like that. And so I had big hair. I had very big hair. Fist bump high five for anybody who remembers Rosanna from Saturday Night Live. Tell me if you remember, and tell me that we don't have the same hair. uh Rosanna Dana. It was a character that Gilda Radner. Hold on. Rosanna. It's always something. See, this was the hair. This was the closest I would get to an afro. This was a character on the old, back when Saturday Night Live was funny. That is the hill I die on. I'm sorry. Back when we had Rosanna Dana and Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi and Chevy Chase and Jane Curtin and Garrett Morris. They had, but yes, that was basically I was Rosanna Dana. But yes. We had a version of this in the late 80s and 90s in Canada. Really, it was called Electric Circus. It would open up outside right onto Queen Street in Toronto. Small Doc, small afro. So my mom recently got me this ducky toy. Cool. It can split in half and open, and then I had a few thoughts. One, what would it look like if such a ducky toy was painted one half as Batman, the other half as the Joker? And two, can I use it to make tiny duck snowmen via mold? Why not? Three, could it be used as a means to have a mold to make glass ducky? And should gag was because of the shoe's inserts for clarity. Ah, Eb Derelict. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's such a delight to have you here. I remember her. Hi. I'm new, doing some channel browsing this morning, looking for some background noise. Well, I've been told that we're fun background noise. And, if you are a streamer, please feel free to talk about your stream in the chat. And if you're not, maybe one day you will be. This is probably one of the most encouraging, nurturing places on the planet. This is the nicest, sweetest community in all of the Twitchverse and in all of the World Wide Webberverse and the interwebs. And it is lovely to have you here. Welcome. This makes you family. And this is a space where people can... Doc is a lot of noise, but in a good way. When I don't have a cold. And, it's all about being able to, just be you. Because who you are is pretty amazing. Who you are is special and unique and the only you in all the universe. Which means that without you, the universe would neither be complete nor the same. And the gifts that you carry, nobody else in the universe can share those but you. Which makes you pretty darn special and makes us a lot to have a lot of happiness at the idea of you coming in and saying hello. So, hello. But no, if you stream, and I know it's normally a big no no for people to talk about their streams in the chats, I love it. I love when people talk about that. Let's see. Uh, it gets interesting when food is mentioned. We always end up talking about food at some point. But I'm fighting a cold. Stop calling me nice, me jerk. Asta, you are an absolute delight, and that is the hill I die on. I'm not a streamer. You post music on YouTube though. Yes, you game. Yes, we do. I do game. I game, and people laugh a lot because I love gaming. I'm not horribly good at a lot of the faster paced games because I'm old. But no, I want to. You post music on YouTube? Oh my goodness! Is it under the same name? Hold on, hold on. Let's see. Let's check this out. Let's see. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Yes, we have. They're like on YouTube. Let's go to the YouTube. Bam. Subscribing. Oh, I gotta sign in. Oh, done. Oh, come on. Oh, I changed it. Okay. We are going to check this out. I will be subscribing to you. Ooh. Music, music, music. Well, this is cool. Yes. You know what? Hold on, hold on, hold on. We are going to get our new friend. Let's see. Anybody who wants to check out our new friend's page, go over there. Check it out. It looks very cool. I will definitely look for you know what you're posting. Yay! So nice to meet you. I mean, hey, and like I said, I will definitely be subscribing. Let's see. Where's my phone? I can do it from my phone. It's like, maybe. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Where's no, not Firefox. I don't want to be on Firefox. Rosanna Dana. Okay, let's go through this, and we will. Okay, there we go. We can go through that. Go to YouTube, and we search for you. There we go. Bam. Subscribed. Yay. Ooh. The Derelict Music Collection. Oh, the graphics are really interesting. That's very cool. Ugh. Lies. See, I'm sorry, Asta. You are not going to get support for you being anything but a great person and a sweetheart, and you can't send us all to the corner as much as you'd like to try. I'm old too. Been playing since the Intellivision days, fist bump high five. I don't have the patience to get good anymore. Oh my gosh. Yes. Oh. Back in the Apple IIc, Sega Genesis, Atari, back in the old days when you blew in the cartridge just to try to be able to play it. Yes. Fist bump high five for anybody who is old enough to have blown into a cartridge to try to get it to play. Yes. And we were grateful for it. Oh my gosh. But yes, it's so lovely to meet you. And most of the time we spend here. Now on Friday Friday, I miss those games. Oh, Kimmy Beans. Yes, yes. So on Friday is going to be a gaming day, and we're going to be going longer than just the 2 hours. So we are going to be doing a variety of games, and love me some Mario Bros. Oh my goodness. Dee 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 dee. Doom. Oh my gosh. Anybody remembers playing the Jungle Book game on Sega Genesis? You all go in the corner and think about your sins. But Asta, that means you're going to be alone in the room while we're all. The corner's only so big. But I am definitely going to have to try that dish. Oh my gosh, that dish. I mean, I can almost imagine what it would smell like. Of course, I may wait to actually make it until my sinuses aren't draining insanity. And because I do not want anything to interfere with that taste. And I want to be able to smell it fully, and I can't smell it fully because my nostrils are filled with nonsense and I keep coughing. Anyway, but yeah, that is so cool. We always love meeting new friends here, and being able to interact, being able to support. It's not easy, whether you're creating content on YouTube, TikTok, Twitch, Rumble, Kick. Being a content creator is not always easy. And it involves a lot of the behind the scenes stuff. And, and especially working with things like music, having to get that editing right and down. I had a theory that nobody actually likes SMB. That's why we all used the warp zones. Yes, to get it over with. Warp zones. Oh my gosh. It is. I mean, it's so funny, when people talk about like old style games, and the fact that I started playing Dungeons and Dragons in 1976 and I was in high school. I don't think anyone wants the corner if someone got trapped in the corner after eating Taco Bell. Person's trapped in the corner. Well, the problem is when you have the person who's on the most inside, because then it just dissipates through everyone. If it's somebody who's on the outer ring, the center is saved. But no, I hear you. I hear you. But oh my gosh. Yep, I never made it past the Sega Jungle Book game. There was one where the lion cub had to hop across the heads of giraffes and they would tilt their heads. I never made it through that, and my sons would laugh at me because they said, "Mom, it's not that hard." Yes, it is. But see, my sons, they were funny. I mean, they're all in their mid to heading into late 30s now. But when they were younger, and they'd play games, and then I'd play games, and if I got myself like messed up with something, it's like, okay, you got to get me out of this. And I was playing, what was it? I was playing Oblivion. Was it? No, it wasn't Oblivion. It was Morrowind. I mean, anybody who goes that far back in Elder Scrolls, the original Morrowind game. And you know how they have the arrows, they have it on Skyrim, they have it on Oblivion, where, you just follow the arrow. And I remember my oldest son came in, and I'm sitting there, and he looks at the screen, and he goes, "Mom?" And I go, "Yes." "Why are you inside a volcano?" It's like, "The arrow told me to go that way." It's like, "Mom, you can't get into a volcano. You can't just straight follow it. You have to go around things." "Well, the arrow said to go that direction." And he actually got me out of the volcano. I was very impressed. There was another game which I totally love, but it's so old it won't even play on my computer. It's Arcanum, Fist Bump, High Five, and I Will Eat a Bean Boozle Bean. If there is anybody out there who, on your honor, pinky swear, if you say that you played Arcanum, what was it, Steamworks and Sorcery. If you played Arcanum, and I mean, pinky swear, you gotta be honest. Arcanum. game. And the thing is, you can get it. Let's see. Steamworks and Magica Obscura. Oh my goodness. Arcanum was like the best game. And the thing is, I can't play it on my computer because it is so freaking old. And but this game, this would have to be like one of my favorite games, because it is absolutely, yes, I played Arcanum. Remember that one with chills? You've played Arcanum? Okay. Since somebody, and I trust Blade Zeus. Blade Zeus would not lie to me. All right. Wait a minute. Oh, there we go. I will eat a Bean Boozle bean. Alrighty, let's see what it comes up with. It says either strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. Strawberry banana smoothie or dead fish. What, my sound is gone? Scout's honor. I will believe Blade Zeus. Is my sound gone? No? Is anybody else not hear sound? I can hear you. Okay, thank you. Alrighty, yeah, totally, I played it. Lie detector goes off just because. Yes, I hear you. Okay. Alright, we are asking the Bean Boozle gods in honor of Arcanum, that, and in honor of our wonderful EBB derelict, I am calling on the favor of the Bean Boozle gods that I receive a good bean. For those of you who don't know, Bean Boozle beans are beans that either taste like something really good, like strawberry banana smoothie, or something really bad, like rotting fish. Something really good, like juicy pear, or something really bad, like booger. And you never quite know until like after the first second of chewing. I mean, because you can't even smell it. So, yes. All right. Strawberry banana smoothie. See, I knew Derelict would not let me down. Yes, good bean. Ha 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 ha. Buy it, Asta. I live to bean another day. Clip that. Doc quote, I live to bean another day. Yes. Strawberry banana smoothie. So good. Yes. So, two things. One, that Exotic Snacks store is doing a restock on Friday. Yes. I have to talk to you after the stream. We will do that. And everybody, welcome in J-Stun Z, my moderator Supreme, who's the king of New York, reigning monarch of Staten Island, and I will hear no argument to the opposite, who is my Obi J-Stun Zobi in all things gaming and computers and pizza and school buses and all kinds of other stuff. Yes. Oh, the exotic. Are you talking about the one online? That one online that it's like all the cool stuff was missing? Oh, what was that? Willie's or something? I don't know. Anyway, there's this bizarre snack website that has the weirdest type of snacks. But yes, anyway, Arcanum, that was one that I loved. I absolutely loved that game. Let's see. Yes. The beans will give me a revenge. Why? Why, Asta, do you look for my downfall? Let's see. Hold on. Let's. Willie's Wacky Snacks. Okay. So, for those of you, it's like, alien lollipops, all kinds, Wacky Mac. Let's see. It's got the Swedish fish stuff, but it's got like a cream of feet. Wacky Packet Series 1, Snacks from Hell. Oh, yeah, you get the sodas. These are kind of cool. Sweet corn, ranch dressing soda, buffalo wing soda, bacon soda. Actually, the bacon soda is not bad. Peanut butter and jelly soda, pumpkin pie soda. See, these are all things that are very interesting. Oh my goodness. But yes, I look forward to them restocking. Because we love the crazy faces from Doc. Yes. Maybe in the Revenge of the Sith bean. Star Wars bean boozles. Ah. Hey, you gotta have some fun. Even when you're sick. Even when you're not feeling totally up. And in fact, when you're not feeling totally, on your game, that's usually the best time to do something that's a little bit on the silly side. Because ultimately, it does come down to, life is very, very short. Life is a tiny dash between two dates on a headstone. And neither one of those dates matter as much as how much we can fit into that little dash. And frankly, I want to fit as much as humanly possible because having been born in 1962, I know that I've got way more time behind me than ahead of me, which means that I get to make the most of that time I have. I mean, I would have never thought that I would be driving a school bus or that I would be a streamer or that I would be a stage actress, which I am, and following dreams and realizing that every single day you get is something that you can be able to do something with. We can remake ourselves whenever we want. And yeah, it can be rough. It can be tough. It can be a lot of, sometimes we end up with a lot of pressure on us. But it takes a lot of pressure to make a diamond, and every single one of you is a diamond in the making. And being able to, even the worst day that you could possibly have will end. And as long as you can go, all right, the sun's gone down, suck it, bad day, you weren't stronger than me. Because sometimes all we can do is just make it through. All we can do is just do our best to crawl across the finish line of that day. But that's still an accomplishment. That's still important. That's still something to be proud of. Is panicking and crying from sensory overload. Some rude people is blasting music. It hurts. Oh, sweetheart. It's you've got your elephant, you've got your ducky, you know, you are amazing at being able to manage those tools. And I'm sorry that there's somebody blasting music and but it's going to be all right. You're here, you're with us, you're with family. We're here for you. It's going to be okay. The music will stop. And you are so wise and so courageous and so determined. You've got all kinds of resources around you and you can use them. It's okay. You're here with us. So, those rude people excited for Friday. Yes! It's going to be a wonderful day. We're going to be doing gaming. And my dad, oh, your dad's coming home. He's been in the hospital since New Year's Eve. He's finally coming home. Oh, Miss Coco Bay, I'm so happy for you. Oh, that is wonderful, my dear. And I'm sure that he will come home and he can heal up. And that is so awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, I'm so glad, and I'm sure that he is more than excited to be able to get back home. And I mean, granted, I've spent some time in a hospital and I love the warmed up blankets, and also I like the bed that I can lift my legs and just kind of, I guess the main thing is I'm so used to doing things for everybody that it feels nice yet weird to be able to, like just do nothing and have people do things for me and bring me things and bring me food. I am not used to that, but every once in a while it is a nice little treat. It is, just one day at a time. And you have overcome and completed so many days. I mean, 365 days in a year. And Digital Mango, hey yo, hey yo. And you are able to say that you've overcome everything that you've ever faced. And maybe you're still overcoming it now. Maybe you're still in the dark and stinky of it. And you've made it through everything else. You'll make it through this. You are more than the pressures that you face. You have more within you. And sometimes, those pressures that we face are there to remind us how strong we are. Because when everything's going great, we don't have to think about how strong we are. And you okay, Doc? Well, I'm getting there. I slept a bit better last night. I didn't wake up coughing quite so much last night. And I still have absolute nonsense happening in my sinuses. And I did the neti pot, and I'll do it again after the stream. We'll flush everything out. So, being able to get that, but it's like, oh, I hate when my sinuses act up. But it is so amazing that my body goes into sick mode when I have time off. It's like when Christmas break happened, and I granted I was sick before then, but it's like, nope, gotta push through. I heard rumors that Doc is gonna eat some jalapenos after the stream. If I order up the pho, I'm definitely getting jalapenos. Ooh, should I make some jalapeno hot chocolate? Jalapeno hot chocolate. Now that is good tasting when you combine jalapenos with chocolate. Yes. But you gotta roast them. You roast the jalapenos, and then you use. Now, the only chocolate that I would use for that is Abuelita chocolate. And, I hate it here. Oh. Even my mom asked if you were doing better, Doc. I told her you're on the road to recovery and work in progress. Thank you, and please give your mom my love. Mwah. Tell her that I said hello. I would make dynamite instead. Yes, it's a food. Ooh, tell us about this food called dynamite. Is it explosive? Not a big fan of it, but I would eat it. Jalapeno hot chocolate, WTF. What? Jalapeno hot chocolate is the absolute best. Oh my gosh, because you have some like cinnamon in there and a little bit of nutmeg, and you cook the hot chocolate and you roast the peppers, and then you take you chop up the jalapenos and you put it in the hot chocolate and you let it cook and let it cook, and then you take off the heat and you let it just steep in there, and then you strain it so that you just have the hot chocolate. Jalapeno hot chocolate is the best. Oh my goodness. Sorry, I don't trust you when it comes to good foods or drinks. Miss Stinky Fish and Bean Boozle Shots. Okay, sustained. That one's sustained. Dynamite is pretty much just any type of chili, but fried in some sort of chili fried in an egg roll. It tastes good after you put it on vinegar. Mind blown. Okay, I gotta look this up. Oh, what is it? Dynamite chili. Okay, let's see. Ooh. Oh, goodness gracious, great balls of fire. Okay, that looks good. Oh my gosh. I can do that. Jay, you could do that at empanadas? We need to make this happen. Oh my god. What's with the emergency? Dynamite lumpia. Lumpia is wonderful. Ooh, and here they put stuff inside the chili. I wonder what that is. I need this in my life. I need this in my life. Jay, bust out the empanada batter. This is something I need in my life. Ooh. Make chili and stuff it in an empanada sounds easy enough. It tastes good if you put it on vinegar or soy sauce. I'm gonna shoot my laptop. It randomly shut off my speaker. No! So you take like a whole chili and then you can slice it and then put something in there, like maybe cheese or something, and then wrap it in the batter and then deep fry it. Oh, that looks so good. Oh, I am going to have to put this in my life. I am going to have to make this happen in my life. Thank you so much. See, I learned something I didn't know about. I learned about these and that I'm going to have this in my life. Digital Mango, fist bump, high five. Thank you so much for bringing dynamite into my life. Oh my goodness. I mean, and you could use jalapenos, you could use the Anaheim. Oh, the Anaheim peppers, they would be nice with that. Oh, yeah, it's very easy to make. I I have to bring this into my life. If you're gonna try that, I suggest you try lumpia tongue. What's lumpia tongue? Is that lumpia with like lengua? Lumpia, lumpia tongue. To- oh, hold on. I mean, I love lumpia. I absolutely love lumpia. I had a friend who, shoot. Oh, it's not tongue. Okay. Although lumpia with lengua, that would taste really good. Lengua is awesome. But yes, oh my gosh. I mean, you had me at fried roll. See, I'm old. I misread things. Touge. Oh, this is oh. I'm telling you, I could eat a stupid amount of this. I could eat an absolutely stupid amount. Oh, I mean, pancit, adobo. Oh, I love pancit. Oh my god, pancit is so good. And lechon. Oh my gosh. It's pretty much lumpia with bean sprouts and another type of vegetable. But it is so good. Hear me out. Oh God. What? What? Hear you out on what? Hot honey chicken chili empanadas. Can you smell what the J is cooking? Oh my. Okay. Let me process this a little bit. Hot honey, and we know the hot honey the J has. Chicken chili empanadas. Mind blown, stomach blown. That would be brilliant, Jay. Oh my gosh. And as an empanada. Oh, that would be so good. O ring blown. Yes, I would guess that that probably leaves the body faster than it goes into it. But oh my gosh, that would be so worth it. Palabok? Hold on. Google it. I Google everything. Images. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. Oh, it's got the egg. It's got the shrimp. Oh my gosh. Oh, that looks so good. None with the emergency ads. I'm digesting enough of that as it is. Oh my gosh, that looks amazing. I usually add pancit or palabok on either rice and bread like a sandwich. Oh, that looks like a wonderful meal. Oh my gosh, that looks so good. That looks good. I could eat a stupid amount of that as well. But oh my gosh, that CJ, now you've got me thinking about hot honey chicken and empanadas. Oh, those are words. I'm picking up what you're putting down, Jay. I'm picking up what you're putting down. Okay, and there's Asta. Hold on. Something else for me to Google. See, you guys say all these fascinating things, and I don't know what they are, but I will look at them. Come on, pictures. Come up, come up, come up. Okay. So it's a fish dish? It looks like a fish dish. Ooh. Tax time. No, we don't want to talk about tax time. Adobo. Oh, I love adobo. I absolutely love it. There used to be a little restaurant that was near where a place where I worked. Oh my gosh, that fish looks amazing. I wonder what the sauce. Okay, so it's like a tomato-based sauce. See, I know that you can tell me what's in the sauce, Asta. But the it was, and I mean, and it was one of those little hole in the wall places, and the lady who ran it, she was, I mean, and she was like sisig. Let me look it up. It's an amazing dish from the island of Bali. Ooh, let's Google it. But she had the most awesome food. And she would have peppers for me. She would hold peppers aside for me. Ooh. Oh. See, I will go for anything that has an egg on it. Nice. Oh, now that looks hearty. That looks very hearty. And it's got jalapenos in it. Yay! Oh, it is so wonderful when, because like I said, I'm a tremendously adventurous eater. And I for those of you who have been around, yes, you can testify to the fact that there is almost nothing I will not try. And I have ingested some of the most nonsensical things. And no, Jay, we will not talk about the marshmallow fluff and pork rinds. We will not talk about that. Log, you think the red is tomato? Is it? Is it? I don't know. Anyway, update. The rude people have gone, but even though they're gone, I'm still in recovery and feel rather shaky and rattled the wrong way. It's okay, sweetie. You're going to be fine. It's like I know they're gone, but it does not mean I get to feel better right off. Well, the reason that happens is because when that started, it created a surge of adrenaline. And when adrenaline kicks up in the system, even if the thing causing the adrenaline rush stops, it takes time for the adrenaline to go back down. So it makes absolute sense that you're still feeling the effects of the adrenaline or the adrenal reaction. And it may take a little bit of time for that to calm down completely. Looks like chili powder to me. Nope, guess again. Marinated chili? Oh, see, now we've got somebody who can also talk food with Asta. See, that works. That works. 20 seeded red chilies. Ooh. Oh, that would be toasty and tasty. Oh, that'd be the one that you would be filled with regrets in about half an hour after you eat it because it's going to come out hotter than it went in. Totally worth it. Totally worth it. And on that note, my name is Food, so. And in fact, your name is one of my favorite foods. So, on that note, we are going to call that a morning. I'm going to go back and lay down again. I was thinking about actually going into the office and doing some janitorial work, but I've decided that I need to rest at least one more day. So, I'm not going to go in and go to work, but there's some stuff that I can do and sort out, and hopefully one of them will be Jay cooking this amazing thing that he mentioned at least sometime this week. Anyway, so everyone have a wonderful, amazing. Also, do you know in my country, pancit, specifically pancit bihon is considered a food that can prolong your life. I would bet that. I mean, frankly, I would live the rest of my life eating that. Hope you get better soon. Yeah, I will. It's just that I've got a little bit in my chest and a little bit of nonsense in my sinuses, and I feel kind of tired. But we will enjoy the rest of the day. And everybody, please, please, please take care of yourselves. Be kind to yourselves. Be patient with yourselves. And always remember that you are the only you in all the universe. You're the only you that's ever been and the only you that will ever be. And what that does is it makes you special, it makes you sacred, and most of all, it makes you necessary. Because, as the only you in all of the universe wouldn't be the same or complete without you. So, everyone, have an amazing morning, afternoon, evening, or night. May you walk gently with the world. May the world walk gently with you. And as always, I wish you balance and I wish you blessings from my heart to yours. So have a good day. Learn something new. I'm proud of you. And I love you. Let's see. Drink tea, breathe the steam, eat spicy foods. I care about you. Oh, thank you. Let's see. Thank you. It's fine. Hugs. All right, everybody. Take care. We'll see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Bye.
Emerald Queen.